Oh man, what's going on, good people? What's going on, good peeps? I need a haircut. I was trying to get one today. I could not get one today because my barber wasn't cutting hair today. He's not cutting hair until Thursday. He might be trying to avoid downtown LA during the election. I came to downtown LA and the whole city was boarded up. So everybody is kind of anticipating a riot or a protest following the election. So it's interesting stuff going on right now. I was trying to figure out a topic to discuss. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. So what was I going to say? These comments are kind of confusing. They're kind of taking me off of my what I wanted to discuss. However, so what I was going to say is investing through an election, right? So last time we had this election, everybody thought that Hillary is going to win. And so tech stocks were booming. Tech stocks are running into the election because tech in Wall Street was really supportive of Hillary. And then what happened? Oh man, I got a dividend. I made $86 in dividends from DRI. Shout out to us, man. Shout out to us. Why we got to work? We're making $86 in dividends. Check out the REIT course if you have not already. But so we're going through an election. The market has been super choppy. Last week was terrible. Super crash last week, and then today was kind of a good day. So I would say that a lot of people, sometimes we try to predict what's going to happen in the market short term. And so we're saying, oh, well, I mean, I've even said this myself, like I want to be in cash right now because I presume that there's going to be a significant dip in the stock market following the results tomorrow. And so what's going on, everybody? And so the thing is that the market tends to correct upward anyway. And so I feel like if you are in options, you need to have a contract that's long enough to allow you to ride out this wave. And it might be a hard dip, but it's going to be temporary. And so I would just say to think long term, to invest long term, to invest through the election. We've seen election after election, dip after dip, crash after crash, and these stocks tend to correct themselves upward. So I don't want to be the person that's not in the market right now, right? Because you never know what you're going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. However, what I will tell people is you always want to be investing more cash into the market. And so I think that a strategy is always to continue to invest. And so you don't just set your positions and put your head under the sand and just hope for the best. Like, no, you set your positions, you position yourself to win, and then you capitalize on what comes. And so you should also have everything that you own shouldn't just, like all your money shouldn't be in stocks, but you should have most of your money in stocks. And then your new money that you have coming in, you should be looking for new opportunities. And so that's what I do. I mean, we have cash. Everything that I own isn't in stocks. I have multiple stock investment accounts, but I also have a savings account. I also have my checking account. I also have all these different things. So if I do see an opportunity, I can pivot and I can capitalize there. So I would just say plan long term. Don't avoid, because you never know. I literally was thinking, like, tomorrow could be a really bad day. The day following the election could be a really bad day, or it could be a really good day. But historically, the stock market has trended up. Historically, stocks continue to run and go and grow. And so you want to be in position. I would rather you, unless you're somebody who is older and needs to be protecting their principal and protecting their capital. Like if you're somebody who's close to retirement, you might need to be in cash. You might need to be into something that's safer. But if you're younger, 20s, 30s, you have no reason not to be invested into the stock market because you never know what's going to happen. So don't assume that you do. Shout out to everybody here who has their own business. It's super dope seeing that. Everybody repping their business, responding through their business page. Everybody, I feel like everybody has their own brand going on here. So that's super cool. But I mean, that's all I really had to say. It wasn't too deep, too detailed. I would just say, if you are in stocks, hold what you have. Hold what you have, because if you're down, like somebody said they had Apple calls and they're down, hopefully it's a long-term call. So hold your position. Sometimes people don't make money because they don't hold long enough. And so a lot of times with stocks, what will happen is you'll get shaken out of your position. So you'll be in position owning these stocks, and it'll take a dip, and then you'll say, I need to preserve my capital, and you'll sell it when it's down 10%. And then you look up and the stock has doubled and tripled. That happened to me with Apple. I used to own Apple. It was like $100 per share, whatever it was trading at. And it just wasn't doing anything for me. It would go up a little bit, it would fall. And then you look at the chart and it's doubled over the last year, 3 years, whatever that looks like. And so long-term, you're going to win. Stocks are a long-term game. The people who are having the most success in options are buying long-term contracts. They're not buying the weeklies. They're not buying those lottos where you buy them the day of, you sell them the day of. They're playing it long term. And so I recommend staying in stuff long term, despite the news, despite the noise, because what sounds loud right now is going to be a distant memory 6 months from now. They'll be talking about something way different. Whatever the new crisis is, whatever the new issue is, that's what they'll be talking about. So play the long game. Just like, I feel like investing in general is a long game, not just stocks. We own property in Detroit, and I was talking to people about how the properties that we own didn't make sense in that moment. It didn't make no sense. And I'll give you a perfect example. We bought a house at auction, and we bought this house for pennies. We paid maybe $2,000 at the auction. It looks great in the pictures. You get out there, the back is completely burned up. The rehab is way more than we expected. It's like a $30,000 rehab, maybe more than that. And it just didn't make sense. But 2-3 years later, we invest in Michigan, the Detroit market. Everything is starting to improve. One of my followers on here just sold a house in Michigan for like $240,000 in a market where the previous highs were like $160,000, which is still good, because in lower depressed markets, the properties are selling for like $20,000 to $40,000. But there's a community out there where you can actually do flips, and it's like the Bagley area where a lot of people are doing flips. They're buying these homes for like 30 grand, putting 50 into them and selling for 160. He bought his house for whatever he bought it for. Let's say it was $30,000 to $50,000. He put $100,000 into his house, sold it for $260,000. He probably, about that. And so he made $100 grand. So where other people are making like 50 to 80 grand on their flips, he made $100 grand on his flips. Why is that important? It's important because for two reasons. I was thinking about this morning. It's important because it shows that the market is improving, but it also shows people are putting money into that market. People are putting $100,000 into a rehab. People are putting $50,000 into a rehab in that market. And it's right down the street from the places that we own properties. So why do I bring that up? Because just like stocks come to you over time, so does real estate. We have a habit of wanting to do the flippity flop, the quick in and out, I got to get this cash now. We don't realize like it takes a generation to build generational wealth. You don't build generational wealth and then live out of it the rest of your generation. No, you work your whole life. You hustle, you build, you sacrifice, you reinvest, and you build the wealth throughout your generation. And now future generations can live out of that wealth. It's not momentarily wealth. It's not quick wealth. It's not, I got a bag wealth. People get bags all the time, and then they spend that bag, and then the bag is gone, and then you don't got no bread. So I would just say that it's a long game. So whatever you're going through, whatever the news is trying to scare you of, if you don't think Donald Trump is a good president, guess what? In 4 years, you'll have a different president. Or maybe tomorrow you have a different president. But let's just hypothetically say that in 4 years, you have a different president. Okay, well, good thing you held your assets for longer than 4 years because you finally got the president that you wanted. But if you're over here trying to make moves tomorrow, now you're going to be upset and you're going to blame investing when you really need to be blaming your lack of patience. So it's a long game. It's a patient game, and the game comes to you in real life. I know you see people who are buying these properties. The ARV is this, and they're flipping it and dipping it. But people don't show you the flips that they lose on, people. People don't show you the wholesale deals that fall through. People don't show you the stuff that they owned and it reversed against them on. They don't show you that stuff. And so you're thinking that, oh, if I just flip, I'll be good. No, the people that win are the people like Aisha Selden, who bought a property in the hood. I forgot the numbers, but I think she was all in it for like 60 grand. She bought a property in the hood, all in it for 60 grand. The property's worth 250 grand. All the meanwhile, she made $88,000 in rent. It's a long game. It's a long game. And that's why I was talking to my wife. We're under contract for a house for my son. It's a very affordable house. And then we're going to get another house. And so I was like, the crazy thing is when you start playing the wealth game, I always tell people that the things that are novel to us are things they've been doing. So this concept of buying a property for my son, they've been doing that. And then buying a property for my son and then funding all his living expenses just out of the property. They took $200 out of my account 2 days ago for his swimming lessons. $200. I was like, dang, it's a lot of money for swimming lessons. I was like, they just took more money. But apparently it was our first month last month. And so they took like a down payment and they continue to take, and they were taking like weekly payments. But now it's just $200 a month. So $200 a month to pay for swimming. Excuse me. And then whatever else he decides to be in. If we want him in piano lessons, if we want him in, what else? What else do we want to put him in? Maybe Boy Scouts. All these different programs cost money. And what most people do is they just say, I'm just going to work overtime. I'll just pick up another job. Well, what we did is we picked up the pace in our business. We brought in the capital. Now we're able to buy rental properties. So I'm looking at 2 rental properties, right? Fairly priced rental properties in the Midwest. Tennis is definitely a good idea and likely going to happen. They're about 25 grand. We buy them in cash, right? So 25 grand. It's going to pay us $800 a month in rent. And we're going to get 2 of these. We're bringing in $1,600 a month in rent. Gross. Net, it'll probably be about $1,000, maybe $1,200. Private school is about that much money. So that's taken care of. But we're going to own these homes forever. By the time he turns 18, these homes will have gone from $25,000 to maybe $100,000 homes. And so now he has $200,000 in net worth. All the while, he's been consistently getting rental income. You don't have to do it that way. You can actually do it and you can finance a portion of it. You could put a down payment and you can get other properties out of state in the, where else? Ohio market, Indianapolis market, Kansas City market, Memphis market. This question says, should real estate be bought on my name or an LLC? I think you got to boss up either way. We're buying a house right now and the lender came back and she said, hey, Charles, we found a property with your name on it. What's going on with this? And I was like, oh, okay, well, that property is actually a rental property from out of state. We have a tenant in there and he pays us $800 a month. And so they're saying, well, actually they came to us and they were like, oh, there's a property on there. It was undisclosed. We factored in the debt to income. And now we have to recycle back and we have to figure out what's going on because you have property taxes and you have all this other stuff. And I was like, well, it's a rental property. So I took a picture of the lease. I sent them that income and we're good to go because debt to income factors in the income, not just the debt and your liabilities. So if I can show you that I have income coming from this thing that has debt, then I'm okay. And so I feel like sometimes we try to make this stuff too fancy and the goal is to get going. Yes, golf also, get going. You need to get in the game because if you try to make every step perfect, you will likely take no steps. If perfection is your goal, then your first step has to be perfect, your second step has to be perfect, your third step has to be perfect, your fourth, fifth, sixth, you're only making perfect steps. And it's very difficult to make perfect steps when you're doing things that most of us haven't ever done. My parents didn't pay for my living expenses with rental properties. I'm the first to do it that way. Therefore, I'm going to probably make some mistakes, but I'm going to make some mistakes going forward as opposed to looking at what's the most perfect way to get it done. Vicky, I owe you. Hopefully you're in the mastermind group. I hope we got you in there. It's been difficult. I got a lot of DMs. So don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress, man. And just perfect what you are progressing. So that's what I would say. Man, shift your mindset. Shift your mindset. Yeah, F that perfectionist stuff, man. Perfection doesn't get you paid. Perfection keeps you employed, but it does not get you paid because you never really know what's going to hit. I had so many pieces of content that I thought was going to be the one. I was like, man, this is it. This is going to be the one, man. And those didn't hit. What hit was the thing that wasn't necessarily perfect. But you know what I did? People started buying it, and then I went back and I got back in the lab. I got criticism, I got DMs, I got all this stuff. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm getting all this feedback. And it wasn't the most pleasant feedback. It was people talking to me crazy, giving me bad remarks and voting down my course. And I got back in the lab and I made a new addition to it. I made a new addition. And now we got our stars back up. Now the options combo has 5 stars. The options course in general has 4.5 stars and it's on the way to 5 stars. So I say that because a lot of us are waiting until we have a 5-star product to release it, when you just got to make sure you have something of value. Release that, and then you might have to polish it and refine it to what the market wants. So shout out to Brick's House. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. It's 8:30 here. Aim for progress. Somebody said bars. Vicky Tone says she's in the mastermind Slack waiting on the Facebook approval. All right, I'm gonna make that happen for you. We got Okia for Shades in the building. We got, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't know how to pronounce that, man. But he has his own business too. Oddballs in the house. We got 24/7 watches in the house. What else we got? We got PGP Life in the house, man. All these brands, all these businesses. Shout out to you guys. That's cool. Yeah, we let that block button fly around here. I always tell people that that's the benefit of being a business owner, is we let that block button fly. If you want power over who you have to work with, you got to become a business owner. If you aren't a business owner, you can't let the block button fly. If you aren't a business owner, you got to take the punishment given to whoever your boss decides he wants to get paid from. And I decided that I don't want that. I want to choose who I want to work with and for. So I should start selling these pins, but I have not. I just got them for myself. If you order a views bag, you get one of these. You also get a set of laces. We got laces. We got pins. They say Future Millionaire on this side. They say TideCapital.co on this side. These laces say Tide Capital right there, man. Get Laced Tide Capital collab. They come in 2 colors. We got the black and the white. These are the ones that I have in my Yeezy 500 yellows. We just need product. If you guys, so I don't know if you guys know this, but the way that you make money is by selling stuff. You sell things. You got to sell stuff. Sell it. A lot of us think that investing is going to get us rich. Investing is how you stay rich, unless you are engaged in options trading. Options trading will help you go from 0 to big bucks, right? So options trading is a little bit different. Wholesaling and options trading are kind of similar. So I would say that get you some product, get you some merch, build you a brand, add value to people in their lives, drop content, drop education, make sure you are omnipresent, and run up a bag, man. And then take that bag and help people around you. It's crazy that, like, as our businesses have become more successful, all I do is reach back and help other people. So all I do is sponsor my mom's podcast. All I do is help my friends. Somebody came to me, they're like, hey, I got a vending machine route I'm trying to finance. I was like, all right, for sure. And now we got it going. So he put up some cash, I put up some cash, and now we got his vending machine route rolling. Like, your business should bless others. It shouldn't just be something that only benefits you. And it likely will bless others. It likely will, because more than likely, if you hit a level of success that we're all aiming for, and you are in an investor mindset, it's going to help everybody around you. So you got to keep that money working, man. Keep that money in the streets. Keep the money working, as Dame Dash would say, and invest in other people. And, you know, it's like I had this thought. I was like, man, if I help them become big, it's going to help me become big. So it's like, it's a win-win. That's why other communities do it. And then the more successful business that we have, you got other people out here doing the same thing that we're doing. So, yep. Shout out to Call Me 100K. He's the winner of the iPad giveaway. I went online today because he won the iPad giveaway. And I was like, I saw how much an iPad Air costs. And it was like the 52 gig iPad Air. And I thought it was like $1,000 iPad. But that's the iPad Pro. I thought it was like $1,000 iPad. And the new Views bags will be dropping shortly. But I'm still trying to tighten up that order with the supplier. So I thought it was like $1,000 iPad. And it was like $550. But I budgeted $1,000 for that giveaway. And so we upgraded him to the 256, and we still were under budget. But shout out to him, because he participates in everything that we do, man, which I think is super dope. Like, he's a part of the options community. He's a part of the courses. He's an affiliate, so he's made money that way. So it was cool to see him win that, and he won it very handedly. Not too many people have, like, I saw, like, even Wale did 20K. He might be on this live. Wale did 20K, and he was like, hey, can I get the iPad? And I was like, well, if you win, but Call Me 100K is out here killing it. I don't know if 20K is enough, Wale. Apparently it was not enough, but it's still pretty impressive to make 20K in a week trading options. Wale is out in Puerto Vallarta, living it up, man. So it's cool to see people doing dope stuff, man. It's cool, man. I love it. Hopefully we can keep this up, keep this energy, keep this genuine support of each other going, because it's very, it's needed, man. I feel like we don't need nobody else but us. I feel like we don't need nobody else. We don't need no person and no house to do nothing for us. We just need us to do for us. And if us do for us, we'll be all right. If us police us, we'll be all right. If us invest in us, we'll be all right. If us educate and teach us, we'll be all right, man. Like, the responsibility lies in us. That's it. That's it. We don't need no jobs. We don't need no nothing. We need no donations. We don't need nothing. We don't need no grants. We just need us. If we could just invest in us, we'd be all right, man. So, oh man, it's 8:30. I'm trying to do more stuff like this, man, because it's important. A lot of really cool people in here. Thanks you guys for all rocking with the vision, man. One of the coolest things that we see is just the culture in the options community. It's kind of indicative of what I tried to build. It's just nothing but support, education, positive vibes. So it's cool to see that being portrayed inside of a community that we built, man. An online, digital, virtual community that's gonna grow. We're working on another project called Thai Capital Online. It's going to be super crazy. Excited about that. It's probably gonna have its own web app, its own website. So we'll have like our own digital marketplace. Like, it's gonna be lit. So working on torrents from HBCU Wall Street to make that happen. And it's just about us all winning, man. If we ain't all winning, ain't none of us winning. One of us winning is not a win. LeBron James winning is not a win. That's a win for LeBron James. When all of us win, when all of us have LeBron James money, that's when I'll be satisfied. He said, around here we say you broke if everybody is broke except for you. So I also got more content. We got a trademark course coming. We got a credit course coming. We got a whole bunch of cool stuff. So thanks for reminding me, Tide Capital University. It was an idea that I had, and I thought that people are going to do the work for me, and I realized I had to do the work. And so I had to put out the content, and then people start bringing me content. So in the beginning, it was just like me sitting around, and I guess that's indicative of life. You got to get the success, and then people want to attach to your success. But we got more content coming. We got more stuff. It's late. I'm going home. I'm going to save this live because that's people always ask me to do. Like, can you save this live? Of course. I just got to figure out what I'm going to call it. You guys be great. Have a good night.